Hey guys, it's Ifter, and I'm back with Corpse Party Book of Shadows with Toko in the Tooth chapter. Last time, it's pretty much, if you watched the last playthrough I did, I will check what that said. Corpse, blood, whatever. There's a large hole on the floor here, it's much too big to jump over. Okay. Just the regular Corpse Party without anything on it, I think. Yeah. You might notice that's the exact same. This whole section is. We'll see if it's different. There are letters scratched on the corner of the blackboard seemingly with fingernails. Do not trust them, they will betray you. The one who volunteered to go will betray you most severely. Cabinet's locked. There appears to be numerous thick books inside. They have titles like The Truth of Ties and Adorababble Enough to Kill You? What in the world could that last one possibly be about? The words "kill before you're killed" are scribbled all over the school flyer. Okay. Well, that is what you would call a good time to get the fuck out of here. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going to be different in this chapter because we're supposed to be going through the reimagining the school, kind of. Like, I've noticed they've stopped doing that. They seem to just be doing side stories, but this side story was in the main game. So I don't really know if that's necessary. Something else I wanted to point out. In the beginning, this was going through the alternate route of Satoshi. The boy, if you remember from way back. It was from the perspective of Satoshi in the alternate ending where he goes back in time, has to relive this whole thing. Well, I'll get back to that. The word infirmary was written on the plate above the door. Somehow the room just felt like it would be deserted. I was awfully confident about that. Not sure why I felt that way, to be honest, but for good measure I shouted, "Is anybody in there?" Still hadn't found Mitsuki after all. I didn't hear her call back though, so we really had no business in this room whatsoever. Wait, is that a key sticking out of the lock? Who could have locked the door but left the key? What would be the point?
Oh,
hey, oh, what's up with that? He's just sitting there. What are you doing? Hey, there could be boogeymen in there or something. And then what will we do? Figure, better to lock him in and keep him out of our hair. What exactly do you plan to do with that key? Hang on to it, of course. Stop tossing it around, that's dangerous. Don't you worry, I always catch whatever. Hell, I can even go higher. Honestly, pain in the ass. Shimada was such a pain in the ass, I really couldn't stand the guy. He's kind of a dick. I don't really like him. Yeah, God, you're persistent. Look, you're very good at throwing and catching, okay? You should just stop already. Seeing this place sure is high. Let's see if I can touch it. Alley. Oops. The hell did it go? Yeah, whatever, I don't give a shit. And now the infirmary was cut off from us if we needed it. Brilliant. It's an exit! An honest to goodness exit! We can finally get out of here! I rushed over to the door, hopefully yet afraid, knowing it might not open, but praying this horrid place would show us at least a little mercy. Gingerly, I raised my hand and pushed on it, and it swung open without even the slightest hesitation. It seemed almost too easy. It was unnaturally dark outside, though. The room was coming down so hard that peeking my head out for just a moment left my uniform completely soaked. Shimada pushed past me, throwing the door open even wider with his usual lack of regard for anyone and anything around him. My clothes went from soaked to drenched in a matter of seconds. If I were to actually walk out into it, I felt like I'd drown. What is this place? It's way too dark out here. Are we in a forest, maybe? It's really coming down. If we went out there in a rainstorm like this, we'd get soaked to the bone. I wouldn't mind seeing that look on you. Anyway, we know we can get outside safely now. Let's go back and get Katayama. Drool. Come on, Yuya? Despite her having found a way out, Yuya's demeanor hadn't changed a bit. He was standing back by the hall where he could watch over us while also keeping an eye out for anyone else who might happen by. The model of maturity. Shimada, on the other hand... You guys go back if you want, but I'm leaving. What? I'm not about to stick around in this fucked up place any longer than I have to. Screw the others, I'm out of here. You can't be serious. Hell yeah, I'm serious. Those assholes are the ones who chose to stay behind. They're just gonna die one by one, and I say let them. Didn't think you were quite that callous, but far be it from me to stop you. Say, Kisaragi, you wanna come with me? The tone in his voice said it all. He'd hit the ultimate low. After abandoning his friends to save his own hide, he was now basically propositioning me. I really don't want to see you die. You've been real precious to me for quite some time, you know. With an obviously rehearsed and truly sickening pickup line. He really was the slimeball to end all slimeballs. Unbelievable. What the hell is wrong with you? Get your eyes off me, you jackass. Couldn't believe he had the nerve to pull something like this. Felt like that may have been the first time I'd ever truly yelled at someone. I was absolutely livid. He wasn't even done. No, he still had plenty of salt to throw in the wound. Oh, shut the hell up, you ugly bitch. Don't go getting the wrong idea. I was just trying to be nice and give you a ticket out of this hellhole, but if you don't want it, that's your loss. You need to die already. This guy's a lost cause, Yuya. Let's just go. My head was swimming. I was scared, I was angry, I was sad. Every negative emotion brought to the forefront and every positive emotion pushed away. I didn't look back. I just turned away from Shimada, walked over to Yuya's side, and continued past him into the hallway. Yuya had been watching all of this unfold from the other side of the room, and for a moment he just stood there, staring blankly at Shimada. What are you looking at? Get out of my sight, you spacey bastard. Shimada then drew a large knife from his breast pocket. Its tip struggled to glisten in the dull light of the room, but it did ultimately succeed. He began waving it around like a dumbass, probably thinking it made him look more menacing. Check it out, just bought this baby yesterday. Not bad, eh? Bet I can put it to good use in a lot of ways. You're an amusing fellow. Does that asshole really have 10 girlfriends? How's that even possible? And yet I'm precious to him somehow. What a crock. How low of an opinion must he have of women in general to pull crap like that? There's just no excuse. I was indignant. I was fuming. I just kept cursing and mumbling as I fast walked back to the 3rd floor to meet up with the others. And all the while, Yuya was keeping pace with me, saying nothing at all. Always the model of maturity. Always even-tempered. He really was like a rock. Or maybe he found my mutterings annoying, was just keeping quiet so I'd do the same. I didn't like that possibility one bit, so I mentally slapped myself on the cheek, forced positivity in my voice, and tried to engage him in cheery banter. Yeah, it ain't gonna work out for you. Sorry. You're a far better man than he is, Yuya. You never said or done anything to hurt a lady, right? I mean, I know you got a lot of women falling for you, but I never once heard of a single bad rumor about you from any of them. It's kind of amazing. I looked him square in the eyes as if asking him, isn't that right? For a moment, his eyes did meet mine, but then they went right back to the hall. Huh? Was he not used to receiving compliments from women? That seemed hard to believe. I'm not sure what you mean. What a cute, innocent response. Oh boy. Brace yourselves. It must have come across as bipolar to him or something. One second I'd try to lighten the mood with small talk or compliments. Then I'd start to feel scared of the school again, or angry at Shimada, or sad for Katayama. My mind just couldn't make up its mind what to feel. Toko! Emmy! Isn't anyone there? This might be different. Mitsuki! That was Mitsuki, wasn't it? It was coming from downstairs. Mitsuki's voice echoed up from below, but our friends were waiting for us above. For a moment, I wasn't sure which direction to go, but only for a moment. The fact is, our friends were very, very close. So close that it would be foolish not to tell them what was going on before chasing after Mitsuki. Come on, we need to check in with Emmy and the others. Then follow that voice downstairs. Yuya just nodded and began running up the stairs, and I was right behind him. But yeah, what was I, I need a moment to talk about the Satoshi thing. Sorry it took so long, we found an exit. Come on, we have to get moving. I was out of breath, staring down at the ground and talking to what I assumed would be 3 very attentive friends. But then I looked up. They were all there, but there was no immediacy, no urgency on anyone's face. Emi and Okawa weren't even looking at me, nor at Yuya, but at Katayama. They were fixated on his face, and each bore a sad, hopeless, empty expression, and they certainly weren't about to get moving. There was a general heaviness in the air. Something was very wrong. I gently reached out my hand and touched Emi's shoulder. Well, what's going on? Toko, Katayama's getting weaker. He's not gonna make it. Yosuke, why won't you talk to me? Say something, please. Yosuke. Emi's eyes were filled with tears. Okawa, too, was cradling Katayama's head. Looked like he'd been crying this whole time. His eyes were bright red and his nose was running. Yuya, still saying nothing, just walked over to Katayama's side, bent down and began examining his wound. Yuya. We need to hurry. The 4 of us silently, but unanimously agreed that our best course of action was to pick up Katayama and bring him out through the exit we discovered. We had to be very, very quick about it, or he really would die. I could tell just by looking at him that his time was almost up. Kisami, can you carry him? Yeah, I could use your help getting him up on my back, though. Ryosuke, hang in there, we'll save you. This was all going on, I had that nagging feeling like I was forgetting something. Of course, Mitsuki! We had to go find her, we couldn't just leave her behind after all. Yuya, do you mind if I run downstairs and look for Mitsuki? If she wanders too far, she might... He didn't even have to say anything this time. His eyes told the whole story. Got it. I know I can trust you with this task, they said. And that was enough for me. I shot off down the hall like a bullet. I was determined to find Mitsuki and rejoin everyone en route. I hurried down to the 2nd floor. But Mitsuki's voice was coming from even farther down. I'd have to keep going to the 1st floor, ahead of the others. Alright, so I might get a moment here. Maybe? Maybe. Yes. Okay. Thing I was going to say about Satoshi. At the beginning, the first 2 chapters were the alternate retelling where he went back in time and is reliving the school thing. We haven't done anything with Satoshi. And I don't know if we're even in the retelling or the alternate story anymore, or if we're just in the main story doing a retelling of the whole story. It's one of those things I'm not sure what's quite going on. Oh, hello. There's a thoroughly decomposed corpse here. The name on its name tag sounds male, but it's a little hard to tell. Matsukaze Prefectural High School, Motohiro Suzuki. Okay. What's this way? Can I even go to the 2nd wing? Toileting out is frozen in place if it's just a decoration. It can't be opened. Okay. How are we doing? Darkening's at 22. That's no big. Well, this is the exit. There ain't gonna be anything here. Hang on. I can't remember if I actually checked this or not, or if I just checked the one to the right. Okay, I must have. Alright. Maybe. I don't know. Or else there was just nothing here. Okay. Head up from the exit, I guess? No. We got this place mapped out right in my head. I'll just be getting farther and farther from where we heard the voice. I should go back. To thoroughly decomposed corpse. Having gone completely skeletal, it's virtually impossible to determine age or gender. Fortunately, the deceased name tag seems to have survived and identifies it as a male student from a trade school. Komashiro Trade School, Toru Takahashi. Okay, well that answers my question of whether I go that way or not. Let's go, Toko. No, if I got this place, I'll just be getting farther and farther. I should go back. Huh? What? It's a half-decomposed corpse, though kind of hard to tell. It appears the remains of a female high school student. Still seems to be loosely gripping her student name tag in one of her hands. Kuroshiki Industrial High School, Leona Omura? Hang on. No, well, that's not what I wanted, but we're gonna do it anyway. Huh? Huh? What? I don't know. One way or another, we're gonna make it out of the school, all of us together. Huh? What? Is it up? If I kept running in circles, I was never find her. I was in a state of panic, and I was allowing it to steer my path. Frustrated with the situation, with myself for choosing to give up and head back empty-handed, forced myself to stop and turn. I was going to do what I should have done in the first place. Call out Mitsuki's name with everything I had in me and hope she responded. Mitsuki, where are you? We're all here. No answer. Just the cold, lonely sounds of rain and wind bearing down on this old, dilapidated building. This may have been a fairly large school, but sound traveled well in here. If she were anywhere in this hallway, I'm sure she would have heard me. And if she were just here only minutes ago, she definitely should have been around now. Could something have happened to her? Mitsuki. Okay. Okay. I don't know where they want me to go. It's still a dead end, right? Yeah, because this is the thing you can't jump. What is that? A g-g-g? That's... I don't want to talk to him. Something's weird to me here. 1 second. Okay. I thought something was weird about, like, there being nothing down here. What the hell was that? What had just appeared in front of me? I'm back at the exit, by the way. From the looks of it, you're another victim dragged here against your will, no? I'll tell you now, there's no escape from this school. There's nothing to be gained here but despair. But if you got an iron will, you might be able to survive for a little while at least. Here, you should have this. It'll help keep the wandering spirits at bay. That only works once. So take it, get out of here, and fight like hell. Stay alive as long as you possibly can. The spirit vantage belonging to the floor below where it had been was a gemstone. Specifically, a violet-colored gemstone, probably an amethyst. So I can use that to keep the wandering spirits at bay one time, huh? Guess I meant the full-body ones, or it would have kept him at bay, too. Either way, this gem felt like I'd actually get back to my friends safely. I was as hopeful as one could expect, all things considered. Acquired amethyst. Of course, he also said there was no escape from here, but it was my prerogative to believe what I wanted to believe and ignore what I wanted to ignore. Okay, I respect it. I completely respect that. Alright, back up to the boy. Hey, buddy. I forget what your name is, but I remember you're not a good boy. I remember you're very evil and you like to kill people. That's okay, right? Appears to be the ghost of a young boy. We know you all and I know the answer to this, and it's not the second one. But I'm gonna do the second one. Oh, got you. Really? Oh, that was a real bright red. Really? That's it? That's a wrong end? That's all it is, too. Wow, okay. I expected a little bit more. And now we're gonna use the amethyst. I held the amethyst in front of me and something happened, and he disappeared. And incredible, it actually worked. Both the ghost and the gem faded and disappeared. The stairwell was now free to be traversed. Now, last time, a body was tossed down those stairs. Emmy, are you okay? There was like a ghost at the bottom of the stairs. Where's everyone else? Come on, we have to get Katamari situated and get out of here. Katayama. Uh-oh. Emmy's face was absolutely wrecked with tears. She was shaking her head violently. She wanted to tell me something, but the words just weren't coming. I had a really bad feeling about this. I ran past her to the bathrooms, to where Katayama was being lifted onto Yuya's shoulders when I left. Why? Katayama was back on the floor right where we'd set him down when this whole ordeal began. Why wasn't he on Yuya's shoulders? What was going on? I had an inkling, but I didn't want to believe it, so I pushed it out of my mind. Yuya, what are you still doing here? We need to get Katayama ready to go. He didn't make it. What? Right after you left, he let out a huge scream, and then he just went limp. No. I didn't know what else to say. A person had just died, and it wasn't some stranger, but a person I knew, a friend. It was the strangest feeling. I kept looking at him and thinking, is he really dead? Is this really what a person looks like when he dies? Seeing him like that drained every last bit of energy I had in me. I fell to my knees, thoroughly defeated. Makawa says he isn't moving from Katayama's side. So what are we supposed to do now? I mean, I couldn't stay near the body. Gone down to the second floor where we picked a corner and just stood there trying to recompose ourselves. Yuya elected to stay with Okawa on the third floor. I guess to try and break him from his shock and help put some distance between him and Katayama. None of this felt real, or maybe I just didn't want it to be real. It was a nightmare, it had to be. I'd just sit up in my bed and it would be all over. Why does this have to happen? I'm not waking up, I don't get it. Huh? I'm not waking up. I keep trying to tell myself it's all just a dream, but... Toko. My energy was waning again. I sank to the ground, landing on my knees. Emmy followed my lead and put her arm around me for comfort. A friend had just died. He just died. God, why? Emmy and I looked at each other. We both heard them, footsteps coming down the hall. It was too dark to make out who it was, but the gate was decidedly male. Two of us slowly and quietly rose to our feet, hid around the corner, and peeked out, both terrified and curious as to whom or what we might see. There at the end of the hall, a figure finally came into view. It was a tallish man, unsteadily teetering as he slowly strode toward us, with Shimada drenched from head to toe. Duh? Emmy shot forward, intending to run toward him, but I grabbed her arm and held her back without even thinking about it. She turned and looked at me with a puzzled expression. I can't handle him. What? Don't tell me he did something to you. No. Thank goodness. Times like these especially, we really need to keep each other in the loop about everything that happens. She looked back at me again as she said this, staring right into my eyes in an almost disciplinary manner. It was a perfect guilt stare. I couldn't help but succumb to it, feeling bad for not having filled her in about the Shimada incident. Yeah. Shimada continued his slow, wet walk down the hall. All of a sudden, for no discernible reason, he simply fell forward, landing hard on his knees. Something was wrong with him. While I loathed the man, I didn't want to see him suffer. Emmy and I were both poised to rush to his aid, when other figures randomly began appearing all around him. Figures of children, blue and ethereal, shimmering with their own light. Well, what are they? We could barely even see Shimada from our vantage point anymore. His body was obscured almost completely by the backs of these ghost children. He wasn't moving, though, so it didn't seem like they were doing anything to him, but then he wasn't moving at all, which seemed highly suspicious. It occurred to me that maybe we should try to save him. I inched forward. He was still in exactly the same position he had been when he fell to his knees. He literally hadn't moved at all. Was he unconscious? Emmy and I looked at one another and nodded. It was a silent signal to move forward and do whatever we could to help. It's not a good idea. He's dead. Children vanished as we approached, revealing a horrific sight. Shimada's stomach had been flayed wide open. He was dead. The knife he'd flaunted earlier was jutting from the wound. It was an almost ceremonial death, like that of a samurai who'd thrown himself on his sword. Oh god. Piercing. No! No! What were those children? How would I know? And they might still be nearby. Kizami, it's horrible! Shimada is... Yuya, who'd presumably rushed down to see what was wrong, calmly walked over to Shimada's body. He was checking for signs of respiration or pulse. He turned back to face us again a moment later. His facial expression said it all. Shimada really was dead. I was beginning to lose it. I just couldn't take any more of this. My friends and acquaintances were dying one by one. I guess I should say had died, but it didn't seem like it was over, not by a long shot. This is bad. There's something in here with us, something that's trying to kill us. Hell, it was doing more than trying. It already succeeded twice over. I was scared, I was paranoid, I was shaking and crying and screaming inside. I was deathly afraid that something else would show up, and then it did. Oh, God. There's a little girl in a red dress standing between us and the third floor staircase. I couldn't make out the expression on her face through her bangs, but I could literally feel the hatred in her eyes as she stared into our souls. Then she turned around and slid up the staircase into the third floor hallway. Uh-oh. Well, what's... Emmy was turned the other way so she hadn't seen the girl at all. She eventually followed our gazes, but by that time the girl was gone. She looked confused. That particular apparition looked a lot different from the other ghosts I'd seen. There was still no doubt in my mind. She was definitely a ghost. Well, what do we do about Okawa? We have to get him. We have to get out of this school now. I'll go call him down. Wait! Yuya, I'll come with. It could be dangerous. You wait here. Dangerous? Well, that is the direction the girl in the red dress went. And I guess Yuya didn't want me to be put in harm's way. I nodded and watched his back recede into the darkness as he chased after Emmy. Pull yourself together, pull yourself together, pull yourself together. You know what they say. No weapon can pierce a calm heart. So, what's the most important thing right now? Uh-oh. No, no, no! What's going on? Why was Emmy screaming? I can hear voices now. Emmy and Okawa were having a heated argument. It's not possible. We have to leave him and run. We'll be caught if we don't. No, we can't just leave him behind. We have to. We have to take him to a hospital. But he's dead. No, he's not. He's dead. He's not. He can't be. Leave him and run. We'll get caught. That ghost girl must have been pursuing them. This is bad. I have to go help them. Y'all ready for this? What the? Well, I don't want this to go on for too long. I feel like this is the limit for me. So I'm going to be another jerk and end the video here. So next time we'll find out what the is about. But until then, everybody, take care.